Even when the world seems hopelessly hopeless, even when the world seems like it is literally just burning itself into ashes, even when the world seems like there is nothing redeeming about it, we have to be the redeeming quality in the world. We have to be what people look at and go, huh, perhaps there is something else to this thing that we call life. Perhaps there is another path other than just dredging through the day in absolute misery, just hoping that the next day will come sooner. Because I used to be one of those people. I used to be one of those people who would wake up and wish that it was tomorrow. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I used to wake up and think, oh my goodness, this is another day that I have to exist. I wish that I just didn't have to do this. Like, I never really considered unaliving myself, but I would just wish that being alive wasn't a possibility for a large portion of time until I realized that it's entirely in my head. Like, this is entirely my own perspective about how I'm addressing the world. And then once I realized that, I decided, okay, it's time to do the necessary healing so that I can do something about this. When I first expressed my desire to travel, my college mentor told me that you can take yourself out of a current situation and put yourself into a different one, but you're still going to be the same person. And I believe that to be both true and untrue. I do believe that if you are constantly living in a negative situation and then you put yourself into a positive one, you're probably going to see some growth that you had not experienced before. But that person that is experiencing that growth in that new situation, that's still you. The only difference between you in the previous situation and you in the current situation is literally the situation. Like, for that reason, we need to do our due diligence to make sure that we are in the best possible situation at all times. And that, especially, in my opinion, goes with romantic relationships. Like, if you're constantly having to convince yourself that a situation is good for you, then it's not good for you because you wouldn't have to convince yourself. You wouldn't have to gaslight yourself into the reality that you are in a healthy relationship. And I am definitely guilty of this in the past. I've been guilty of it several times, of telling myself, like, she's got these glaring flaws, but everything is fine. Like, I can overlook these because I'm a strong person. Like, my strength doesn't mean that I have to just lay down and take whatever someone gives me. My strength means that I set my boundaries and I say, you know what? No, that's not acceptable. And if you feel like this must be your course of action, then we're just not going to work. And that's okay. Like, I think, I mean, amongst many other things, I think a lesson that people would really, really do themselves good by learning is that sometimes things are just okay. Even if they're really bad, like, they're just really bad and it's okay. Like, just accept them for being bad and then just move on. Like, if a person in your life is a bad person, just say, like, they're a bad person and just move on. Don't let it affect you. Just move on. Your life, like, our lives are relatively short, even though I think they're kind of long, but like, whatever. Um, like, we don't have time for this. Just don't deal with it. Just live your life, live your reality, and you'll be better for it.